Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com this afternoon from Tiger Field. It's a Patriot League clash as the visiting Brush Bead Diggers take on the Sterling Tigers. I'm John Beltran as we got underway early, and Anthony Jimenez, the Sterling right-hander, retired the Bead Diggers on just 6 pitches. Justin Griffith grounded a short, Jaron Peterson to second, and moments ago Ryan Fergus grounded out to second base. We'll get to the Bead Diggers starting lineup here a little bit later on since they're already on the field. Opening pitch today brought to you by Buildings by Design, the experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building by starting your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. Trent Mount will be the starter for the Bead Diggers. On the hill, he'll face the following lineup for Sterling. Batting first is the shortstop Jacob Segi. The second baseman Grayson Dudley hits second. Pitcher Anthony Jimenez bats third. The cleanup hitter's the third baseman Austin Nelson. Batting fifth is the DH Drew Book. Dylan Santamaso, the first baseman, at sixth. Braden Cloberdance, the catcher, bats seventh. The right fielder Christian Rose hits eighth, and Tristan Manley, the left fielder, bats ninth. For the Bead Diggers defensively, Ryan Dunkers at first. The second baseman is Caleb Cox. Gunnar Guzman is at third. The shortstop is Ben Brown. Around the outfield, Ryan Ferguson left, Justin Griffith in center, Jaron Peterson in right. Behind the plate is Colin Cole. And again, Trent Mount making his first start of the season, his second appearance, as he closed out the game against Kent Denver, a scary 9-8 victory after the Bead Diggers were up 9-2. Weather conditions have cooled off here in Sterling with plenty of wind as well. So momentarily, Jacob Segi will be stepping in on the left side for Sterling.
Leading off for the Tigers, the shortstop, number 24, Jacob Segi.
And here he is batting from the left side. The Bead Diggers come in at 2-1, and Sterling is 2-0. Sterling defeated Lamar on the road 14-7, then beat Sedgwick County here on Saturday. The Bead Diggers in their maroon uniforms with the gray pants, and Sterling in their black uniforms, orange numerals, and the white pants. The left-hander Segi, the pitch, squaring to Bud Fouts up the third base side. No balls and one strike to Jacob Segi, one of the better hitters in the Sterling lineup. Both teams leading off with a left-handed hitter. The wind and pitch, and that's up and away with a changeup. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Trent Mount wants to work quickly in this game. That's part of his MO. The pitch swung on and popped up on the left side into shallow left field. The shortstop Ben Brown is out, and Brown makes the catch for the opening out of the bottom of the first inning.
Ben Brown makes the catch to retire Segi.
One down for Grayson Dudley.
Number 5, Grayson Dudley.
Dudley hitting from the right side for Sterling against the right-hander Trent Mount. And the pitch is a ball. Down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Went with a heater there. Mount turns and fires. Down and in with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. That's right there. Took something off it down the middle. And it counts at ball 2 and strike 1 here to Grayson Dudley. No score in the bottom of the first inning. Wind and offering. Swag and a miss and a fastball above the letters on the outer half. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. The base is empty in the bottom of the first inning. The senior, Trent Mount, delivers. And that's inside with a changeup. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dudley awaits. And Mount delivers. Swung on and line down the left field line. That's going to be trouble. Giving chase in the corners, Ryan Fergus. Dudley is around first as the ball hits off the bottom of the fence. And he's into second with a 1-out double for Sterling.
next for the Tigers, the pitcher, number 12, Anthony Jimenez.
Go, Anthony!
Here's Anthony Jimenez, who in that first game against Lamar, that 14-7 victory, had 3 hits and 3 runs batted in. A veteran player here for Sterling. The Tigers trying to extend their undefeated season. The Bee Diggers looking for their 3rd victory as well against 1 loss. Cole lays down the sign. Open stands here for Jimenez. Short lead the pitch. Swung on and fisted to left field. Ryan Fergus to his right, running in, makes the one-handed catch, and the throw back to second, and that is going to be a double play. Dudley was way off the bag. Dudley misread that. He thought the ball might have been able to drop, and he is doubled up at second. That'll go 7-4 with a second baseman, Caleb Cox, covering. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases were left empty. Let's head to the second. No score in Sterling between the Bee Diggers and Tigers on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush nothing, Sterling nothing as we head to the second inning. For the Bee Diggers, they will send up Trent Mount. Bee Diggers starting lineup this afternoon brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. Locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush, available 24/7 for your banking needs. We'll get to the rest of the lineup here momentarily. Against the right-hander, Jimenez, the pitch. Swung on, line straight back. Mount on the season is hitting .250. And Jimenez looks in. 0-1 pitch. And the breaking ball is fouled off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes. The Bee Diggers have Justin Griffith leading off. Jaron Peterson batting second. He's the right fielder today. Ryan Fergus hitting third. Caleb Cox is right behind Mount at second. Ryan Dunker, the first baseman, at sixth. Ben Brown at short, bat seventh. Third baseman Gunnar Guzman at eighth. And Colin Cole, the catcher, at ninth. The pitch. Fastball is low and away. Ball 1, strike 2. To Trent Mount. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on line for a base hit into center field on the fastball right down the middle. And the Bee Diggers have their first hit. And it comes in the second inning. That'll bring up Caleb Cox. Hitting 167. Did not play. I don't think he was in uniform on Saturday. And the 1-run loss to Weld Central. The Bee Diggers had 6 stolen bases in each of the first 2 games. Didn't run as well against Weld Central. Hard to keep up that type of pace. 2-step lead for Mount. The right-hander Jimenez delivers, runner going, swung on and missed. The throw to second is right there. The tag, and Mount is out. As the tag was applied beautifully over there by Jacob Segi, and there's 1 down. Excellent throw by Cloberdance. Caught stealing, goes 2-6. And Mount got a decent jump, but that was a perfect throw. The offering down and in. It bounces into Cloberdance. The count levels at 1-1. Jimenez gets the sign. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. No score in the second. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the left. Went with a heater. That was a late swing by Caleb Cox, down on the count at 1-2. Crowd settling in here at Tiger Field on slightly overcast Tuesday. Swung on, fouled off again on the breaking ball. Count remains at 1-2. Here to Caleb Cox with Thunder on deck. Bee Diggers have another road game on Thursday in Eaton against the Reds. They're off this weekend, then they'll continue action next week. It'll be another 1-2 pitch to Cox. Here it is. Swung on and tapped slowly on the ground to the first baseman. An easy play for the second out as Sanamaso steps in the bag, and there's 2 down.
I'll bring up the first baseman, number 23, Ryan Dunker.
Dunker on the year is hitting 167. His only base hit drove in a go-ahead run against Weld Central on Saturday at that point of the 6th inning. Wind and pitch. Swung on line, and that is foul down the first base side. Tried to jam him with a fastball. And Jimenez has been all over the strike zone. 13 strikes and 3 balls so far through the first inning and 2/3. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop heading out of town during your visit. You can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, get snacks and your hunting and fishing licenses. Find everything you need at low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. And the pitch in the dirt. Levels the count at 1-1 to Dunker with 2 outs and a bases empty in the second. Cloberdance lays down the sign. And Jimenez delivers. Fastball outside corner for a strike. Knee high. It's 1-2. Neither pitcher has recorded a strikeout thus far, but Jimenez looking to do so right now with a 1-2 pitch coming to Dunker. And Dunker calls time, but it's not granted, and the breaking ball's in the dirt. And Dunker, quite frankly, called time way too late, and that's why it wasn't granted. And it doesn't have to be granted. 2-2. So he caught a break there. If not, if that pitch would have been there, he would have been rung up. The 2-2 to Dunker. That is low. It'll be a payoff pitch coming up to the Bead Digger first baseman. With 2 down in the second. Airs the winding offering. That is right down the middle. Struck him out. Strikeout looking, and it amounts to a 1-2-3 inning. No run. No runs, that is. 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. Let's head to the bottom of the second. Brush nothing. And Sterling nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. No score as we head to the bottom of the second in Sterling between the Bead Diggers and Tigers.
Bottom of the second, leading off for the Tigers, the third baseman, number 14, Austin Nelson.
It'll be Austin Nelson, Drew Book, and Dylan Santamasso against the right-hander Trent Mount. Sterling had a hit in the first inning, but the base runner was eliminated at second on the back end of a double play. Hitting with an open stance is Nelson to pitch. Swung on in line towards left field. Fergus is coming in. He'll make the easy catch. The ball hung up there for Fergus. There's 1 down. 1 down for Drew Book. Haven't had many deep counts in this game so far. Both teams are coming up swinging. The pitch. Swung on in line for a base hit into center field and a fastball up in the zone. That's a second straight inning in which Sterling has delivered a 1-out hit.
The first baseman, number 33, Dylan Santamasso.
And here is Santamasso, the first baseman for Sterling. About a 2-step lead at first. The pitch. Took something off it. It's a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Drew Book off of first. Santamasso, big, strong right-handed hitter. And Mount tosses back to first. That's all that is. All of the Bead Diggers games have been decided by 1 run, defeating Valley 10-9, Ken Denver 9-8, and losing to Weld Central. Swung on and popped foul, not a play off to the right, 6-5 on Saturday. Groceries, fresh cut meat and deli items, Floral Pharmacy, Western Union Public Service Payments, that's Brush Grocery Card, 24-hour gas, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. No score. Bottom of the second inning in this Patriot League clash in Sterling. 2-step lead at first for Book. Throwback to first, back in diving. The Bead Diggers will be playing most Saturdays, although as I mentioned earlier, this Saturday will not be one of them. The long pause. The pitch. Fastball is high. Ball 2, strike 1. Here to Dylan Santamasso. Again, Book with a conservative lead over there. Doesn't look like a threat to steal unless he extends the advantage, but he's going. Pitches outside. The throw to second is right there. The tag, and he is out! The tag is applied by Ben Brown, and Book is caught stealing. And again, the lead was not very big. And that's a second base runner to be eliminated in the game, 1 from each side. An excellent throw there by Colin Cole, but the hitter now has the advantage at 3 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch swung on. That's a base hit into center field, and that caught stealing. It's really hurting Sterling now.
He'll be on first. He'll bring to the plate the catcher, number 17, Braden Cloberdance.
That's the 3rd hit for Sterling. Here's Braden Cloberdance. And Mount knew he could groove that pitch in there, down in the count at 3-1 with nobody on base. That's how that caught stealing has changed the inning for Sterling. Santamasso with an even shorter lead than Book had, about a step. The pitch, down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, we got 2 pitchers that are going after that strike zone, not fiddling around too much. Jimenez has been ahead in the count virtually every hitter. Mounts has rarely fallen behind. And that's a strike just below letter level, and the count is even at 1-1. With 2 outs, bottom of the second inning, no score in Sterling. These teams will play in Brush later on this season as well. Mount comes home, and that went behind him, and it's off the catcher's glove. Up the third base side into foul territory.
The second on the wild pitch.
And the second is Santamasso. Mounts is credited with a wild pitch. It actually hit off the glove, but it was behind the hitter. 2 balls and 1 strike. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and popped up into right field. Jaron Peterson has a beat on it to his left. Makes the 2-handed grab, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the 3rd inning after the 1-minute break. It's Brush nothing, Sterling nothing in Sterling on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. I'm John Beltran from Sterling as we head to the 3rd inning. No score between the Bead Diggers and Tigers. Bead Diggers will be sending up the bottom of the order here against Anthony Jimenez, who's allowed just 1 hit. Ben Brown will get things started for Brush. And Brown will be followed by Gunnar Guzman and Colin Cole. Brown 1 for 4 on the season, hitting .250.
The shortstop, number 6, Ben Brown.
Jimenez so far with 15 strikes and only 6 balls through 2 innings. Neither pitcher in danger of even getting halfway to the pitch limit. Wind and pitch. Swung on, tap foul behind the plate off a fastball that ricocheted back to Guzman, the on-deck hitter. He actually hit the ball twice. Off the backswing, no balls and 1 strike. Jimenez demonstrating a strong breaking ball as well. Swing and a miss and a fastball. Belt high, it's 0-2. One of these games where if you're the visiting team, you don't score anytime soon. You sense that home team has the advantage, and that's a fastball up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No score here in the third. In the visiting half of the third in Sterling, it's the Bead Diggers' road opener. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and popped up into center field. To his left is Dustin Ferguson, and he makes the catch, and there's one down.
Makes the catch. That's the first out here in the top of the third.
One down for Gunnar Guzman.
That'll bring up the third baseman, number 12, Gunnar Guzman.
The Bead Digger Jr. hitting .250. Stepping in from the right side. Line and pitch. Fastball outside corner for a strike. Thigh high. It's 0-1. Guzman waving the bat. And the pitch. And he swings and misses a ball down and in. Count moves to 0-2. Try to tie him up there. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. That is a called strike 3.
Strike 3 call.
Boy,
Goes down for the second out.
it got just a piece of the edge. That was right on the outside. There's 2 down here in the third.
Colin Cole.
Here's Colin Cole for Brush. He's hitting .400 on the young season. With 2 down to the bases empty. The only hit allowed by Jimenez came when Mount got a base hit 1 inning ago, swung on and fouled off to the right. Late with that swing off the fastball, and Jimenez, I mean, this guy has not been easy to hit. At least first time around the order. Pitch to Cole. Fastball is outside, and the count levels at 1-1. No runs, 1 hit for Brush, no runs on 3 hits for Sterling. The Tigers have stranded the game's only base runner on a windy day here in Sterling. The pitch swung on, check swing towards the Digger dugout on the first base side. As it's fouled off, it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Cloberdance lays down the sign. Let's see if he goes with straight heat. The pitch in the dirt. Might have tried to unleash some sort of breaking ball that, or it's just a complete waste pitch. It's 2-2. Cole digs in, and the offering. That's upstairs with a fastball. Count moves to 3-2 with Justin Griffith waiting to hit next for Brush. Cole settles out of the box for just a second. 33 pitches so far thrown by Jimenez. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. That is a swing and a miss. He blew it right by him. And the Bead Diggers are done here in the third. 3 strikeouts for Anthony Jimenez. We played 2.5 in Sterling. Brush nothing, Sterling nothing. This is Bead Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the bottom of the third inning in Sterling. No score between the Bead Diggers and Tigers. And what's been a clean ball game so far, Anthony Jimenez has been very good for Sterling, allowing just 1 hit and striking out 3. Trent Mount has given up 3 hits for Brush. Has not struck out a hitter, but has not walked a hitter. I mean, that's a key. You don't have to be a strikeout pitcher if your defense is strong. You do have to avoid little things like the wild pitch he had last inning, but he worked his way out of it. And the Tigers will send up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Christian Rose, Tristan Manley, and Jacob Segi. Rose has had a limited number of at-bats this season. Manley on deck is a junior who had 4 hits in the opening game against Lamar, a 14-7 victory by Sterling. Righty against righty to begin the bottom of the third. And the pitch. And that fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Christian Rose. And Mount delivers right there. Took something off it on the inner half for a strike at the knees, and the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Neither team has had a base runner go as far as third base so far. The pitch swung on, grounded foul up the first base side. Count at 1-2. Mount is looking for his first strikeout. I think he wants that same baseball. Sometimes those baseballs, even if they're hit foul, but they happen to be in play. Well, in play meaning that there wasn't a play made on the previous one, but they didn't leave the park. They want it right back. Perhaps to unleash another pitch that's not necessarily a fastball. 1-2. And Rose calls time. Sterling Tigers coming off a state championship basketball season, defeating Faith Christian in a thriller, 48-47. The pitch, and the breaking ball's a called strike 3 on the inside corner, and that's the first strikeout from Trent Mount. There's one down. That was a gorgeous pitch, and perhaps that's why he wanted that baseball back. One down for Tristan Manley. Again, Manley in the first game of the season had 4 of Sterling's 15 hits, so he can certainly swing the bat. And Mount comes home, squaring to bunt, and he misses it. Oh, looked like he waved at it. And Kevin Fergus. And even if he didn't, I thought he got the outside corner, but they're going to call it a ball. Yeah, that looked like a strike from here. That's surprising that was not at least appealed. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. Swung on, hit slowly on the ground, right side off the end of the bat. The second baseman, Cox, throws to first for the out, and there's 2 down. As Manley's retired.
And recorded on the 4-3 put out. 2 outs. Back to the top of the order for the Tigers. The shortstop,
here's Jacob Segi. Segi popped to left in the bottom of the first inning. And Trent Mount is looking for an easy inning. And this game is flying along so far. The left-handed hitter digs in with 2 outs and the bases empty. And the pitch runs inside for a strike. Ooh. No balls and 1 strike as they got the corner. Mount gets the sign and the pitch. Swung on and line foul on the slow curve up the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes. And again, he wants that baseball back, just like he did 2 hitters prior when he threw a 1-2 breaking ball that froze Christian Rose. I don't know if he's going to throw that here to Segi. Segi's the number 1 hitter in the lineup. No balls and 2 strikes. Might try to waste a fastball upstairs. Let's see. The pitch. And that breaking ball is way outside. Ball 1, strike 2 to Jacob Segi. Wind and pitch. Swung on, line foul up the first base side again. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. No score in the bottom of the 3rd inning in Sterling between the Beat Diggers and Tigers in this Patriot League clash. And Mount comes home. Swung on, tapped foul behind the plate on the slow curve. Remains at 1-2. Oh, Mount is starting to get his rhythm going on the hill. Did give up 3 hits in the first 2 innings. His best stuff here in the 3rd so far. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, popped foul, and out of play off to the left. Remains at 1-2. He gets through this inning, and it's down to a 4-inning ball game. Zeros across the board with a run total. The pitch. Breaking ball is way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a good at bat so far for Segi. He's extending the pitch count of Mount, which is not in jeopardy. But again, 2-2. Swung on, grounded into right field for a base hit. They're going to make a play at first. Peterson to first, and I think they got him. They did. Peterson got him at first base with a stretch there by Ryan Dunkers. Peterson was playing shallow, and that turns into a 9-3 outs. It's not a base hit. And it's a 1-2-3 inning off the alert play by the right fielder, Peterson, and Segi was running down that line. Segi might have hurt himself in a minor collision there with Dunker. 1-2-3 inning. Let's head to the fourth. No score between Brush and Sterling on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Tiger Field in Sterling. Let's head to the fourth inning. No score between Brush and Sterling. The Bead Diggers have 1 hit. Sterling has 3. And the Bead Diggers go with Justin Griffith, who grounded a short in his first at bat against the right-hander Anthony Jimenez. The pitch, and that fastball's in the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch, swing and foul tipped into the glove of Cloberdans, went with a heater, and the count moves to 0-2. Jimenez with a strong 26 strike, 10 ball total so far. And the 0-2 offering. And the breaking ball is a called strike 3 on the outer half belt high. And that is strikeout number 4 for Anthony Jimenez, who is delivering some clutch pitches here, and there's 1 down.
The right fielder, number 10, Jaron Peterson.
Jaron Peterson grounded to second his first time up. Bead Diggers trying to solve this right-hander, and the pitch swung on and fouled off to the right and out of play. Again, neither team has had a base runner reach as far as third. It's a pitcher's duel here between Jimenez of Sterling and Mount of Brush. No balls and 1 strike to the right fielder, Jaron Peterson, who just made an excellent play in right field. The pitch swung on, grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Seggy's going to charge, sets, throws, and there's 2 down as he retires. Jaron Peterson. 2 down for Ryan Fergus. He grounded to second in the first.
2 outs, that'll bring up.
Well, Dalton Wilkinson was a pretty good starting pitcher for Weld Central on Saturday, but this is the best they faced so far, without a doubt. And the pitch swung on and popped foul and out of play off to the right. In football, when it's a back and forth type of game, when it's a shootout, it's last one with the ball. This one could be last at bat. And a breaking ball swung on and missed in the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. Now this pitcher is getting on a roll here. And the offering swung on and popped up on the right side, and the first baseman, San Tomaso, makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning, 8 in a row, retired by Anthony Jimenez. Let's head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Brush nothing, Sterling nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Nothing as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning in Sterling. The Bead Diggers have 1 hit and Sterling has 3. And Sterling's base running has been less than desirable in this game. They've been a caught stealing and a runner doubled up at second. The Bead Diggers have had a runner caught stealing as well. So a little bit over-aggressive for both teams, and none of those 3 situations paid off. And coming up for Sterling in the bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Grayson Dudley, Anthony Jimenez, and Austin Nelson. Against right-hander Trent Mount. He's been sharp, but not as sharp as Jimenez. Jimenez has 4 strikeouts in the game, so he's taking care of some of the Bead Diggers by himself. Mount has 1 strikeout in the game. Now Dudley doubled in the bottom of the 1st inning, but then was doubled off after the on-deck hitter Jimenez lined to left, and Fergus threw back to second. So here we go to begin the 4th. And Trent Mount, the senior, trying to match Jimenez pitch for pitch. Here's the wide and offering. Swung on in line towards second, caught by Caleb Cox. He basically went down to one knee to make sure he had better eye contact with that, and he makes the catch. Ball hit very well, but Cox was right there. One down for Anthony Jimenez. As I just referenced, he lined to left, and then the previous hitter was doubled up at second, Dudley. With an open stand for Jimenez, the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 37 pitches thrown by Mount, 23 strikes, 14 balls, has the one strikeout with no walks. And is starting to get into a better groove, retiring the side in order in the third. Swung on and lifted foul, and about 100 feet foul off to the left side. That thing's headed towards a parking lot. Yeah, there was no way that Jimenez was going to be able to keep that ball fair as it was tailing inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to the opposing pitcher. Cole lays down the sign of the pitch, and the breaking ball stays inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, you don't want an error to decide this game. Sometimes that also happens when a game is played so well, and then you get nervous knowing it gets to crunch time and the fastball is high. Ball 3, strike 1 to Jimenez. Let's see if Mount grooves one and allowing Jimenez to at least swing away. Neither pitcher has walked a hitter. The pitch, and that happened right there, way outside of the fastball. Here's Austin Nelson. Nelson lined to left his first time up. Trevor Smith is the courtesy runner for the pitcher Jimenez. And sometimes a walk is similar to an error. Essentially a free pass. Now let's see if Smith takes off. I know that Sterling likes to take chances in games like this. That's a good 2.5 to 3 step lead. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to the number 4 hitter, Austin Nelson. 2-step lead for Smith. Throw back to first and a tag, and he's safe. Back in there, he was leaning. He didn't read that very well. Had that throw but up the first base side or the second base side a little bit more, he would have been out. But he just got back in. He might think twice about going now. Even a shorter lead, about 1.5 steps. Mount delivers. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner at the knees. The count is even at 1-1. The Beat Diggers are double play depth. I don't believe they've turned one this season. Be a good time right now to end the frame. Short lead again. Smith looks like he's going. He does. Swung on and grounded left side. Shortstop Brown dives underneath his glove for a base hit in the left center field. Justin Griffith, though, gets it right back into the infield. And that would have been a tailor-made ground ball double play had Smith not been going. But at least that hit and run did not advance the runner past second. Drew Book singled to center his first time up. So now Sterling's got a little bit of a threat here in the 4th inning. 1st and 2nd, 1 down, no score. And the right-handed hitter at the plate. Stretched by Mount, and the pitch. Swinging a foul to the screen. Swung at a pitch that was way up in the zone. Hard to get on top of that baseball. No balls and 1 strike. Mount, the pitch to Book, in the dirt. It gets away up the first base side. Only 1 runner could advance. That's the lead runner, Smith the third. As Cole flags it down. And it is a wild pitch. Staying at first is Nelson. Well, the Beat Diggers are playing the infield back, hoping for the double play. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Mount delivers. Swung on and fouled right behind the catcher towards the screen. 1-2. If I'm Mount right now, I go with a fastball above the letters. He likes to swing at that pitch. And Book might be vulnerable, either strike out or pop it up. You don't want to throw anything down in the zone. Got that nice long swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the offering. And the breaking ball is inside. Ooh. with a runner going. I mean, that barely missed. Wow. Mount thought it was strike 3. I did too. Wow. Boy, that non-call might be the difference in the game there. I thought they were going to ring him up. Now it's 2-2 pitch to book. Here it is. Swing and a miss on a fastball letter high. And just above the letter, strikeout number 2 by Trent Mount. And here is Dylan Santamaso. He singled the center his first time up. Keep in mind that Mount does have 2 wild pitches. So he's got to keep this not only in front of the catcher, to the catcher. The pitch, fastball on the outer half for a strike. Thigh high, it's 0-1. Second and third, 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. No score. As the Tigers do have 4 hits in the game. The offering swung on and grounded up the middle. Second baseman Cox cannot get it. It's a base hit into right field. Scoring is Smith. Around third is Nelson, headed towards the plate. And the ball is off the glove of Cole, and he slides in safely. They would have had him. And the second is Santamaso. It's credited as a 2-run single. And Sterling leads 2-0 at the bottom of the 4th inning. Oh, they would have had the trail runner, but the ball was not handled at the plate. And the Tigers have broken through in the 4th inning. Here's Braden Cloberdance, who popped up his first time out. The stretch and the pitch squaring to bunt. Takes a fastball high. One ball and no strikes. Stretch by Mount, and the pitch up and in. Yeah, Cox was playing towards the hole on the right side, towards right field, not towards right center, and that's where Santamaso hit a 2-0. That's a little bit down and away. I mean, I don't know where that missed. Yeah, Mount is wondering where. That should have been a strike. It's 3-0 based on the strike zone that home plate umpires established. I'm surprised that was called a ball. 3-0. Well, that's right there. That's a strike. It looked like same location, maybe just a tad higher. 3 balls and 1 strike to Braden Cloberdance. Stretch by Mount. And the pitch. Swung on, driven foul down the left side. I mean, that's way foul. He just hit it a long way, but that's not even close to being fair. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Mount came in on this hitter. Dylan Santamaso has given Sterling a 2-0 lead. A stretch. And a 3-2 in the dirt. Runner going to third, and Cole didn't see him. Oh, he could have easily had him. I don't know what happened with Cole there. He just didn't make a play. And, I mean, Santamaso doesn't have much speed, and he just didn't make a throw. And the third baseman, Guzman, was covering.
Number 27, Peyton Cloberdance.
Peyton Cloberdance will be the courtesy runner for Braden Cloberdance at first base. Now the Beat Diggers have to stop the bleeding. Down by 2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Christian Rose struck out looking his first time up. The stretch by Mount. And the pitch right there for a strike. On the outer half at the knees, it's 0-1 with a fastball. The Beat Diggers are being out hit in the game 5-1, but they nearly got out of this inning. Second and third, 1 out with a strikeout, but then the 2-run single. The pitch, and that ball hit him. Ran inside, got him on the left leg. Looked like a changeup. And the bases are loaded for Christian Manley. Manley grounded to second his first time up. Well, this could change the game right now. If Sterling scores more with the way he manages pitching, Brush is in big trouble. But if Mount can get out of it right now, then it's still a close 2-0 game. Wind and pitch. Fastball is way outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Mount out of the windup with the bases full of Tigers. The pitch swung on and tapped right back to the mound. Mount has it, tosses to first. And Sterling is retired here in the bottom of the 4th inning. However, they've broken through and have taken the lead. As Sterling does pick up a couple of runs on 2 hits, no errors, and the bases were left loaded. We head to the 5th inning. Sterling 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Sterling 2, Brush nothing as we move to the 5th. And Anthony Jimenez has pitched a gem, allowing just 1 hit. And Trent Mount is not only the hitter, but he's the hitter with the only base hit for Brush in the game. Jimenez has struck out 4, and he's not walked a hitter. Thrown just 42 pitches, so he could easily go the distance, especially the Bead Diggers cannot break through. 4, 5, and 6 for Brush. Wind and pitch. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes to T-Money. Mount tried to help his own cause. And the pitch way outside. Down and away. Jimenez is behind a hitter for a rare time in the game. That's a little bit different pitching with a lead. Even though it's a slim lead, 2-0. Mount ready, so is Jimenez. And the pitch swung on, check swing foul off to the right. And I'm not sure that was going to be a strike. It was riding on the inside half. But tailing in towards the hitter. Now it's 2-1. At 3 perfect weather games to begin the season. This one's not too bad, the offering. Fastball is right there for a strike on the outer half of the knees. Count levels at 2-2. Globerdance lays down the sign. 2-2 offering. Swung on and line foul off to the right and out of play. As Trent Mount took a protective swing there, tried to extend the at-bat. Live in your world, learn in ours at Northeastern. Go to njc.edu. That's Northeastern. 2-2 to Mount. The pitch. Swung on and grounded right side. First baseman Santomasso bobbles the ball, picks it up, tosses to first, and it's wide of the target, headed towards the Digger dugout. And that'll be an error on the first baseman, Santomasso.
So with 1 out, that'll bring up the second baseman, number 20.
Here is Caleb Cox.
Courtesy running for the pitcher.
Caleb Cox grounded to first his first time up. And now, visit to the mound from Coach Squire here.
Number 21. Not on the varsity roster. I'm assuming that's Nick Wellen off the JV squad.
Looks like Nick Wellen is running for Brush. Over at first for Mount. And that was an easy play for Santomasso. I think he just tried to rush it. Especially with a right-handed hitter up there. All you got to do is knock it down, and he didn't field it cleanly, and maybe that gets the Bead Diggers some momentum here. After Jimenez had retired 8 in a row. So here's Cox, 2-0 Sterling in the top of the 5th inning. In Sterling. Keep in mind, we'll have the Bead Diggers and Eaton Reds on Thursday at 4 o'clock. Weather looks like it's going to be a little bit worse for that game. All right, so Cox settling into the box. Jimenez back on the hill. And this is the first time in the game. I don't know why Jimenez is in the windup. Oh, there. Now he's making the adjustment. I think he was about to wind up there. He was facing the catcher. The stretch. Short lead at first for Wellen. The pitch. Swung on in line down the right field line. It's trouble if it's fair, and it is drifting foul.
A long foul ball.
No balls and 1 strike.
Good rip, but just foul.
Apparently we have more than just play-by-play from radio guys here. No balls and 1 strike. To Caleb Cox. Short lead at first, the stretch. And the pitch, squaring to bunt, lays it up the third base side, right back to the mound. No throw to second, nobody covering. High throw to first, and safe! Well, that'll be another error by Sterling. That on the pitcher Jimenez. A good throw gets him.
Second down, nobody out. That'll bring up the first baseman, number 23, Orion Dunker.
And now the Bead Diggers have runners at first and second with nobody out for Ryan Dunker. Dunker struck out looking. So 2 Sterling errors have opened up the gates here for the Bead Diggers in the 5th. Let's see, he's squaring to bunt. The pitch. Swung on, grounded right side, and that is stabbed by the first baseman, and covering at first, the second baseman. Collision over there, and the call, let's see, Dunker collided fairly violently over there with Grayson Dudley covering. I believe he was called out. Now Dudley's okay, and Dunker's down on 1 knee. I believe they've called him out 3-4, advancing the runners, and you could see that coming from a mile away, because Dudley was still running towards the bag, and Dunker was running towards the bag as well, just from opposite ends towards each other. Now let's see what the call is. Let's see if they called him out. I thought he beat him to the bag, that the throw was in time, but Dunker's behind the bag. Let's see what the call is. Jeff Squire out there talking to both umpires. Apparently they're going to call him safe. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't see anything signaled at all. If it was signaled, it was not emphatic or decisive at that point. If he's safe, we're going to call it the bases loaded, because the first baseman, Sanamaso, was playing in, and that's why he had to throw essentially behind his back to the second baseman covering. And it looks like the bases will be loaded. Boy, a sloppy inning for Sterling, with the 2 errors in that play, which Dudley got to first pretty late on. Well, we'll score a base hit. An infield single will load the bases. And that'll bring up Ben Brown, who popped to center his first time up. Well, if you make routine plays, it's a simpler game, and Sterling's been able to do it for 4 innings, but not in this inning. So Dunker is safe at first.
Ben Brown.
And nobody out, 2-0 Sterling in the 5th inning. The Bead Diggers have easily their biggest threat. The stretch by Jimenez. And the pitch to Brown. And he swings and lines it down the left field line. If it drops, it's a base hit, and that is just foul.
Foul ball. Foul ball.
Oh, man, he got just out in front of the pitch. It's 0-1. He just turned that wrist over, and it did not stay fair. We're just past the top of the hour here in Northeast Colorado. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Weldona, and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com. We're also live on the TuneIn app at KSIR on TuneIn. The stretch. And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball is up and in. Levels the count at 1-1. This game could change right now with a base hit. At third as well, and Cox at second, Dunker at first. 2 errors, and then that infield single. The offering in the dirt. 2-1. And sometimes you see these pitchers' duels that become extended games time-wise. Brush's shortest game so far, the 3, has been 2 hours and 21 minutes. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's not a must-strike situation here for Jimenez, but Brown is looking for something fat. The stretch. Brown awaits. Here's the pitch. And he swings and grounds it left side towards the shortstop. Segi backs it up, drops the ball. No play. Welland scores, and the Bead Diggers draw to within a run.
First run comes across for the Diggers.
It'll be an RBI.
Still nobody out.
That would have been a long throw to first, that's for sure.
Number 12.
I'm going to score that a base hit. It was in the hole. And that would have been a very long throw there for Segi. So no error there. There was no guarantee he was going to get him out. Brown was getting down that line. Here's Gunnar Guzman. And a pitch to him. And he swings and taps it foul behind the plate. Guzman struck out looking. But 2 errors to begin the inning, and the Bead Diggers are trying to capitalize here. Down 2-1 in the 5th. Cox at third, Dunker at second, Brown at first. No balls and 1 strike to Gunnar G. Wind and pitch. And he swings and grounds it back to the mound, to the plate for 1. Cloberdance to first. That's a double play. It's 1-2-3 double play. And there's 2 down.
2 outs now. Runners on second and third. That brings up the catcher.
And that'll bring up Colin Cole. The pitch, fastball is upstairs. Cole struck out swinging. So on 1 pitch, Jimenez went from nobody out to 2 down, but the Bead Diggers still have 2 in scoring position. 1-0 offering. Swag, and I'm missing a fastball at the letters. It's 1-1. The run allowed by Jimenez is unearned. Let's see if Cole can come through and give the Bead Diggers the lead. 1-1 pitch. Runs up and in. Ball 2, strike 1. It was a fairly routine 1-2-3 double play there for Jimenez and Cloberdance. It was just a little chopper back to the hill. And Jimenez comes home, down and away. And on deck is the dangerous Justin Griffith. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. To Colin Cole. Cole looking for something fat here right now with a 3-1 count to the Bead Digger catcher. Here's the wind and pitch, and it runs on the inside corner for a strike. Just got a piece of the corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Colin Cole. Big pitch coming up here for Anthony Jimenez. He's thrown quite a few in this 5th inning. 3-2 offering. Swung on, grounded up the middle, headed for right center field for a base hit. 1 run is in. Rounding third is Brown. To the plate, the throw is cut off. It's a 2-run single for Colin Cole. And the Bead Diggers have plated 3 here in the top of the 5th inning. Cole comes through with a 2-run single, and Brush leads Sterling 3-2.
Center fielder, number 2, Justin Griffith.
And the Bead Diggers will have a courtesy runner for the catcher. But Colin Cole is coming through for Brush.
Runner for the catcher, number 17, Jade Queen.
Jade Queen will run for the Bead Diggers, and for Colin Cole, here's Justin Griffith, 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. Stretch by Jimenez. And the offering. Fastball runs outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Griffith with an open stance. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and tapped foul up the first base side. Count moves to 1-1. First Bead Digger run of the game. The RBI single by Brown, brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants, providing civil engineering services for aviation, municipal, commercial, and residential clients in Colorado. They assist their clients through the planning, reviews, and construction processes in order for them to attain the appropriate entitlements and to build their projects. Western Engineering Consultants. Long pause. 1-1 pitch. Time is called. No pitch there by Anthony Jimenez. Griffith back in the box. Short lead over there for Jade Queen, maybe a step and a half. The pitch outside with a changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jimenez has been extended here in the 5th inning. 2-1. Fastball is up and away. Now he's overthrowing a little bit. He fell behind against the previous hitter, Cole. He's fallen behind Griffith. That's been unlike this pitcher. So here we go. We'll see a 3-1. And Griffith awaits. Here it is. Swung on and popped up into right field. Going back. That's got some carry to it towards the track, but getting under it, making the catch is Christian Rose for the outside, retired. However, the Bead Diggers get 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Bead Diggers have taken the lead for the first time in the game. It's Brush 3, Sterling 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Jaron Peterson, who just made an outstanding play in right field, on the back end of a double play, will lead off the 6th inning. The Bead Diggers trail 4-3, committing 3 errors in the bottom of the 5th. Wind and pitch. That's a fastball down the middle for a strike.
Number 10, Jaron Peterson.
Peterson has grounded out twice against the right-hander Anthony Jimenez. And the offering. Swung on and fouled back on the breaking ball. Yeah, it was Brock Shallow was the courtesy runner eliminated at the plate and brought him in for Nelson. No balls and 2 strikes to Peterson. Sterling with a 4-3 lead in the 6th inning. Yeah, this 5th inning was unlike any other inning in the game. Neither team was outstanding offensively. It was just a lot of defensive miscues. 0-2. Breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was pitch number 70 for Anthony Jimenez. Peterson with an open stance. 1-2 pitch. That is a called strike 3. Belt high with that fastball in the outer half, and there's 1 down. 1 down for Ryan Fergus. For Jimenez, that's his 5th strikeout. Fergus is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped out, both on the right side. Wind and offering. Tapped foul at the plate on a pitch down and in. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, if Jimenez has a clean inning here, he'll try to go the distance in the 7th. He's got leeway here to throw plenty of pitches. 1 out and the base is empty in the 6th. Sterling led 2-0 after 4. The Bead Diggers broke through with 3 in the 5th, and Sterling countered with 2 in the bottom half of the 5th. No balls and 1 strike, and the pitch to Fergie. Fastball is very high, and the count is level at 1-1. On deck is Trent Mount. Cloverdance lays down the sign, and the offering. That is a little bit low. Barely missed. 1 with a heater again. 1 ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Fergus awaits, and he takes it in the dirt. Jimenez has not fallen behind too many hitters, but he's down 3-1 here on Ryan Fergus. Jimenez has not walked a hitter today. 3-1 pitch, and he finesses that pitch for a strike on the outside corner. And that was the definition of placement. He slowed down his arm motion too. 3-2. The wind, payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Struck out Fergus on a fastball down the heart of the plate. Couple of straight strikeouts to begin the 6th inning. There's 2 down. Strikeout number 6 for Jimenez. And here is Trent Mount.
Number 7, Trent Mount.
Mount singled and then reached on an error by the first baseman Santamasso on a fairly routine ground ball. But he's up there now instead of leading off an inning. 2 outs and the base is empty. And the offering. Swung on and grounded right side. Easy routine play for the second baseman. And throwing on to first is Grayson Dudley for the out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Jimenez and the Tigers. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Sterling 4, Brush 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Bee Diggers trail 4-3. And Ryan Dunker will be the new pitcher for Brush. Austin Perry will be at first base. And yeah, Trent Mount is out of the game as Ben Brown stays at short.
Now pitching for the Diggers, number 23, Ryan Dunker.
Dunker will be facing Braden Cloberdance, Christian Rose, and Tristan Manley. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Sterling has 4 runs on 5 hits. The Bee Diggers 3 runs on 4 hits. The Bee Diggers have committed 3 errors, and Sterling with 2. Dunker was very good in his first start of the season, got the no decision going 5 innings against Valley a week ago. But now he's in a hold situation, so to speak. Not the traditional hold with a lead, but holding this 1-run deficit as the Bee Diggers are playing a 4th consecutive game, perhaps to be decided by a run. Braden Cloberdance popped out and walked. He's 0 for 1. Transwest Chevrolet Buick serving Northeast Colorado and now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. Stop by and take a test drive. TranswestChevroletBuick.com. He short-armed that breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. And Dunker delivers. That's a fastball for a strike on the outer half at the knees. Count evens at 1-1. Dunker showed outstanding control against Valley. The pitch, and that one's in the dirt. Looked like he tried to throw him a changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here to Braden Cloberdance. The pitch. Right there, strike 2 on the outer half belt high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dunker's another pitcher who relies on that defense, but he finds a strike zone. 2-2 pitch, way outside. 3-2. To the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sterling 4, Brush 3. Wine and pitch, ooh, way outside. Man, his body twisted off the rubber. And he still doesn't look comfortable on the rubber. Christian Rose has struck out and has been hit by a pitch.
By the courtesy runner is brother Peyton Cloberdance.
Peyton Cloberdance will be the courtesy runner.
Tigers, the right fielder, number 20, Christian Rose.
Yeah, Dunker has a little bit of twist on him there when he's throwing the ball that maybe he had it in the first outing against Valley. It just looks a little bit different. It could be that mound, too. Or it could be the fact he hasn't pitched in a week, at least at a competitive level, and is just trying to get back into rhythm. 2-step lead for Cloberdance. The stretch and the offering, and that's bunted at and fouled. Yeah, that time Body was much more in control. Striding towards the plate, it's 0-1. Rose, the 8th place hitter, officially 0 for 1. And the Bee Diggers have got to field these bunts well, as Trent Mount made the mistake of, once he didn't barehand it, he tried to throw it to first and threw it down the right field line. No balls and 1 strike. Short lead at first. Throw back to first, and that's off of Perry's glove. And that would have been an error on Perry. You got to look that in. I mean, that's a routine throw at the. And Perry did not look that ball in whatsoever. He didn't even apply a tag, but luckily It only got a few feet away, and the runner did not advance. Two-step lead for Cloberdance. He looks like he's going to take off. Nope, he stays the pitch, and it's bouncing there, and going to second now is going to be Cloberdance. They'll give him the delayed steal. But again, another pitch that Dunker looks like he's either short striding or short arming. Hasn't got like 2 or 3 pitches even to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the offering. And that is also in the dirt, down and away. Yeah, there's something out there. He doesn't look comfortable. He was not doing this last Tuesday. 2 balls and 1 strike. Short lead at second for Cloberdance. Sterling's looking for the insurance run. The pitch squaring to bunt, and he fouls it back. 2 and oh, did he miss it? No, it looked like he stabbed at it. Yeah, 2 and 2. There's no wild pitch there. I mean, that just missed by the catcher. Apparently it was not fouled. He just missed it. Pass ball. I thought he fouled it back. Stabbed at it, but Cole could not field it. So runner at third, nobody out on the pass ball. 2-2. And that is just outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It looks like the left shoulder is flying open a little bit when he's short arming it or just not getting it to the plate. Let's see if Dunker makes the adjustment. 3-2. Swung on, grounded right side to the first baseman. Perry plays it off his chest. He'll have to step on the bag. The run scores. That's the story for the Beat Diggers defensively. Not making plays cleanly because there would have been a play at the plate there, but Cloberdance scored. Will give Rose the RBI, and it's 5-3 in favor of Sterling. Here's Tristan Manley. He's grounded out twice. Now, it's pretty obvious this season that if the Beat Diggers are going to be successful, they've got to do it defensively. Squaring to bunt, he misses it for a strike. Man, they don't have a lot of, Mount, not a strikeout pitcher, at least not today. Neither is Dunker, but they're strike throwers. Jaron Peterson is their biggest strikeout pitcher. The offering, swung on and fouled off to the right. Count is at 0-2. And the Beat Diggers committed 3 errors in the 5th inning, and that one, those 3 errors might lead to a loss here. Only down by 2, though. They've got a shot here if they can hold them at 5-3. The offering, that's up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now Dunker looking a little bit more comfortable. Of course, it's also different when you come into the game in relief. He had a solid start against Valley. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He threw it right by him. That's a Ryan Dunker strikeout. And there's 2 down. The thing with Dunker, he's got a sneaky fastball. Here's Jacob Segui. Segui has popped out twice and grounded out. He's 0 for 3. A leadoff walk has resulted in a run. Stretched by Dunker, the pitch. And the breaking ball as he squared to bunt and he missed it as a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Jacob Segui. Dunker delivers. Swung on and fouled off to the left. You could tell he got his rhythm going a few pitches ago. No balls, 2 strikes. The base is empty. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Beat Diggers are down by 2. Dunker stretches. Dunker delivers. And the breaking ball rides inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They're going to call on Dunker, Mount, and Peterson, and Guzman to be the 4 pitchers this year. Swung on and driven foul down the right side. And even if it results in a 2-2 start, there's plenty of promise for this team. And let me not forget Ryan Fergus. He made the start as well. So that'd be 5 pitchers that the Beat Diggers certainly can send out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The stretch by Dunker and the pitch. Swinging a foul to the screen. Got the bottom of the baseball. Anthony Jimenez will try to go the distance here in the 7th. But first things first, you got to retire Jacob Segi. The pitch, swing and a miss. And Ryan Dunker records a couple of strikeouts in the inning. However, Sterling picks up a run. On no hits, no errors, and the bases were left empty. Let's head to the 7th in Sterling. It's the Tigers 5, the Beat Diggers 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Anthony Jimenez will attempt to go the distance for Sterling, leading 5-3. He's allowed 4 hits, struck out 6, but what's most impressive, he has not walked a single hitter. 78 pitches, 55 strikes, 23 balls. He'll face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Caleb Cox, Ryan Dunker, and Ben Brown, here in the 7th for Brush. Cox is 0 for 1. He's grounded to first and then had that sac bunt and reached on the air. Now, as part of that 3-run 5th inning, the only inning in which the Beat Diggers have threatened. Line and pitch, and the breaking ball is a strike on the outside corner at the knees. Man, he spotted that perfectly. No balls and 1 strike. No Facebook Live after today's game. A little bit cooled and windy and don't have the most ideal setup, and the breaking ball's in the dirt. 1-1. We'll be live in Eaton on Thursday. Cox digs in as the Beat Diggers need a base runner to send the tying run to the plate. 1-1 pitch, and a fastball is on the outside corner. Man, a piece of the outside corner, belt high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mean, Jimenez has painted 2 pitches on the corner here to Cox. Very tough pitches to hit. And the 1-2, and that's outside. It rides away. Took something off at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The left-handed hitting second baseman for Brush, Caleb Cox, awaits the 2-2 pitch, and that is up and away with a fastball, 3-2. And again, Jimenez has not walked a single hitter. And he is 1 pitch away from recording another out. He did strike out, I believe, the last 2 Beat Diggers, if I remember correctly, or 2 of the 3 in that previous inning. 3-2 pitch. Outside, and he walks Cox to begin the 7th. And he had him at 1-2, and none of those pitches were even that close. And here's Ryan Dunker, who struck out and singled. He had that crazy play where he had a grounder that the first baseman, Sanamaso, was in towards the hitter, dove to his right, and then Dunker collided with the second baseman covering as they were both running full speed to the bag. The pitch squaring to bunt. It's up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. All Coach Squires asking for strikes to allow his defense to make plays. Beat Diggers won't swing at any bad pitches. At least that's the plan here. The stretch, Dunker squaring to bunt again. 1-0, and it's in the dirt. And perhaps showing bunt is distracting Jimenez. 2 balls and no strikes. This is the worst start to an inning for him. Even the 3-run 5th, it certainly was not his fault. He's thrown 5 balls in a row. It is 2-0 to Dunker. 2-step lead for Cox. And the offering. That's a fastball, and he missed the bunt completely. 2-1. And I'm not sure why 2-0 scoring to bunt. Again, you're down by 2, and you're the visiting team in the 7th. To give away an out is a risky proposition. Is he going to square to bunt again? 2-1, yes. And he bunts it up the first base side, easily fielded by Jimenez, throws to first for the out. It will be a sacrifice, but you've given up an out here. And there's 1 down. One down for Ben Brown. Oh, no more bunts left for the Beat Diggers in this one unless they're for base hits, and that one was not for a base hit. Brown is 1 for 2, popped out and singled. The offering, swung on and lifted towards shallow left field. Coming on is Manley, still coming, and he makes the basket catch for the out. Again, you sacrificed an out there. Now there's 2 down. with your 8th place hitter, Gunnar Guzman,
Batter is number 12.
who was struck out and hit into a 1-2-3 double play. And Colin Cole, who drove in 2 of the 3 runs for Brush, is on deck, but Guzman has to get on to extend the game. The stretch. And the offering. And that rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Lead out there for Caleb Cox at second. He had a leadoff walk. And the 1-0 to Gunnar Guzman. And he swings and pops it up into shallow right field. A long run for Rose along the line, and the ball is going to be caught, I believe, in foul territory by the first baseman, Sanamaso, as 2 fielders go to the ground, including Sanamaso. And the game is over. Sterling has won 5-3. For the Beat Diggers, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We'll take a 2-minute break and wrap it up after this. The final score, Sterling 5, Brush 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Digger postgame show is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center with 3 locations to serve you better. Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Your headquarters for all your home, farm, and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed. Mr. D's Ace Home Center. The Sterling Tigers defeat the Brush Beat Diggers in Sterling 5-3. 5 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on base for Sterling, 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, 2 left on base for Brush. The winning pitcher going the distance was Anthony Jimenez with 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. The loss went to Trent Mount. Time of the game, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Now the game was scoreless until the bottom of the 4th inning when Dylan Santamaso came through with a 2-run single to give Sterling a 2-0 lead. And then Sterling began the 5th inning with 2 defensive errors. The Beat Diggers took advantage. Ben Brown had an infield single, then a 2-run single by Colin Cole gave the Beat Diggers a 3-2 lead. But then in the bottom of the 5th, 1st and 2nd for Sterling, and Trent Mount could not barehand the ball, and then he threw it away down the right field line. And a run would score, tying the game at 3 on the next play. Then it was Drew Book reaching on an error by Ben Brown. Anthony Jimenez scored. That made it 4-3. And then Sterling would tack on another run after a leadoff walk by Ryan Dunker in the bottom of the 6th inning, although Dunker pitched well there the rest of the way in the 6th inning. However, it was a Christian Rose RBI ground out. The Beat Diggers were then retired in order after Caleb Cox led off the 7th with a walk. And that was it as Sterling moved to 3-0 overall. They win their Patriot League opener. Beat Diggers 0-1 in league play, 2-2 on the season. Brush will be back in action coming up on Thursday in Eaton against the Reds at 4 o'clock on KSIR and KSIR.com. Beat Digger Player of the Game is brought to you by Cargill, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at Cargill.com. I'll give it today to Colin Cole, who had that 2-run single. And at that time, that came with 2 down and a clutch base hit in that top of the 5th inning that at the time gave the Beat Diggers a 3-2 lead. But the Beat Diggers, for the 2nd straight game, lose a close game. They've won 2 games by 1 run, and they've lost 2 games by a combined 3 runs. Outstanding job by our sound engineer and producer, Julie Garcia. The Avalanche coming up tonight will take on the St. Louis Blues. That will start at 7 o'clock. I'm John Beltran. The final score once again from Tiger Field in Sterling. Sterling 5, Brush 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.